So let's talk about Trump. You know, before this coronavirus pandemic, I was screaming that Trump was gonna rape the shit out of Biden in 2020. I thought it was a shoo-in for him, man. I thought, oh man, like this guy's got all the hope in the world. He's got all the, you know, he's got like everything going for him. In this campaign. But then when the pandemic hit, and when people are currently at risk of getting evicted, not me, because I've been working this whole time and nothing's really changed in that regard, but that can't be said for like almost half the country. Like, I mean, we're approaching some Great Depression level shit here. And, with the George Floyd thing and everything, and, you saw that interview with him and the Axios dude, Jonathan Swan, I think his name is. And he's just pulling shit out of his ass, bro. He's just pulling shit out of his ass. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and he never has. But I hope people realize, yeah, I can't support him anymore because, like, he failed me. My husband or wife is dead from COVID. And of course they're going to put that on the president. It's not solely his fault, but my point is, if there was no pandemic, Trump would definitely win in 2020. But now, the chances of him winning against Biden, who I don't like either, are about as likely as snow to happen in Cuba along the shoreline in like the tropical area in like this time of year. That's about his chance. So I would give him like an 80-85% chance he's going to lose. Some might even go as high as in the 90th percentile. But um like the only thing that can maybe save him is if there's like a vaccine that comes like before November, which I mean, even if it does come, it's not going to be widely distributed among Americans. It's not going to be like, we're not going to be getting lined up. It's not going to be given to our house like in the movie Contagion. You guys ever seen Contagion where it's like they got that, they deliver the vaccine to everyone? It's not going to be like that, unfortunately. When that happens, it'll be like 2021. So, yeah. And just everything is like really fucking bad right now, Like, there's so many restaurants that are basically at risk of, not just going bankrupt, but like just shutting its doors forever. So it's like, yeah, there's gonna be a new wave of restaurants. But back to Trump, um, his chances are really not good. I mean, he's. I know they say, oh, you can't trust the polls. You can't trust the polls. There's a lot of. I mean, you really don't have to look to see, how we're doing and how, everything's basically, like I said, gone to shit. So, all Biden has to do is hide. All he has to do is just watch reruns of the Brady Bunch or Leave It to Beaver. And people are going to elect him because at this point they're saying anybody but this fucking doofus dictator. So, I have to say, I mean, I if you still support Trump, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I really don't. I don't want to make any insults against you, but you really need to look and compare ourselves to the rest of the world as to how we're handling this coronavirus pandemic because there's so many other countries that have it together. That doesn't include Brazil, India, and Russia to a lesser extent. We're pretty much the only three: Brazil, India, and here, and we're the worst at it. Like, there's more deaths in the U.S. than like anywhere, any other country or territory, whatever. Because right now, I think there's like 700,000 deaths worldwide, and the U.S. accounts for about a seventh of it. So that's really fucking significant, isn't it? And just the fact that, we have massive unemployment, whereas other countries, they basically nationalized things like restaurants and non essential businesses and furloughed the employees who couldn't go to work because of that. So, you know, as a result, their unemployment in places like Germany is like 3% tops. So, like, really fucking. And again, like I've been saying also, unemployment isn't the best, it's probably among the worst measures as to how the economy is doing. What you really have to look at is wage growth, which in this country has barely budged since like the Carter administration. So again, like, Trump, his chances of winning really not that great. And there's this guy, I forget his name, but he's predicted every election since I think Carter. I think Carter, Reagan, around there. And he predicts Biden. So, and again, like, he looks at key factors like social unrest and the economy and stuff like that, both of which, George Floyd, and there's going to be a lot more social unrest once evictions are allowed and landlords are going to, like, pretty much be like, finally, they're just aching to just kick people out. And when like a quarter or half, up to a half of Americans are going to be homeless, that's going to make George Floyd, those protests, look like fucking fairyland, or like South Park, or just some shit like that. Yeah, we got some kids out there. It's going to make that shit look like a cakewalk. So, you think George Floyd was like really fucking bad, just wait. Just fucking wait. I don't know when evictions are going to be allowed. I think it's different. It differs by state, right? So, but a lot of people are saying September, October, around there. So, like in the fall, basically. And then when the winter comes in some areas, oh my god, that's going to be even worse. So, all these things are basically stacked up against the Trump administration, right? And I mean, yeah, Biden, he has a really good chance. A very, very good chance. And the best part for him, he doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to, make appearances in public or anything like that. He can just be like, the thing. The thing. He doesn't have to do anything, bro. So, yeah, Trump, most likely not going to win in 2020. He's going to be the first, and when that happens, that means he's going to be the first one-term president since George H.W. Bush in 1992, before, like, a few years before I was born. So, and the only thing up against him was like the LA riots, and there was mass unemployment there too. But yeah, um, so yeah, man, things are really not looking great under Trump. They're really not. It's really he. Yeah, he's. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna say definitely, but he's most likely not going to be reelected. And I'm not thrilled about who's going to replace him, because trust me, Biden will not do shit that I want. Like, he's so, I trust me, guys, I'm not thrilled about it either, about the guy who's going to take his place. So that's all I have to say. Trump, I mean, throw in the towel, man. You had a good run, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. And Biden, just fuck you.